Okay, here's a look at the emini S&P Stock Index Future for Tuesday, October the 18th, 2011. At emini Day Trader, we like to use the market profiles to gain a better perspective on the market. This is yesterday's profile, and this is today's. This is what occurred overnight. So going into Sunday, just a little bit of a background here. This was Sunday's trade here, and we had been focusing on an area at approximately 12.15 as a good resistance barrier. And that should the market get above that, it would be bullish, and below it remains bearish. Well, the market did move above it in the overnight session Sunday evening, but when it opened yesterday for the regular trading hours, it was back below that in a hurry, and some selling ensued. And on the video yesterday, I said that action like this, with rejection off of these higher prices like that, usually attracts some additional movement, and we did get that in the overnight session yesterday, although not a lot. We had two areas down here at 85 and 87 for potential as targets and potential support. And the market went down overnight and hit 85.50, and then rallied approximately 10 points from there. Actually a little bit more, and then it opened around 95 for the regular trading hours right here. Well, when it came back down to test, it could not make a new low. Once again, it found support in this area and turned right around and had a very powerful up day, moving through our 15 and closing above it. So we're going to continue to use that 15 area as a barrier. Now on the support side, we actually think the barrier could even be a little bit lower, more like around the 12 area. But we're certainly more on the bullish side of trading at this point. Here are the profiles from the regular trading hours only, and you can see the tremendous range in particular that we had during the regular trading hours today. This was yesterday's low, so we took out yesterday's low, and this is yesterday's high, taking out yesterday's high. So very bullish day, and do expect to see some follow through from that overnight and tomorrow. Here's our software and our trades for today. We actually had a short trade early in the day, and you can see during that sell-off we did have the matching red filter, so we took that trade and it moved pretty nicely for us. It moved against us about a point, but then moved in our direction 3¼ points. So that trade worked out nicely. The market was fairly volatile at that time, and we only did trade 3/4 of our regular position because of that. You can see that we had a long trade triggered so we're in the short here, and you can see the long trade was triggered here. This was an aggressive trade, and some of our traders took it who were looking at the overnight action and auction that I was just mentioning in an aggressive way. Otherwise, it did not match or did not meet our 2 out of 3 requirements, and so therefore was not taken. So the second trade that we had, this will be the first one. The second trade was a nice long that we had right in here. Got long around the 99 and change, and had a nice bounce here, hitting our first 2 objectives. We had another trade in here at 5, and it also moved 2 3/4 points in our favor. So that trade worked out very nicely too. We tried to get long right in here. It didn't quite dip. If it had dipped an extra point, we would have had our 4th trade, but instead we ended up with our 4th trade here a little bit higher up, and unfortunately we got stopped out of that as it pulled back. Once again, not quite reaching the next level down here to get long. Same thing on this trade. It got filled a little bit lower down, so we were stopped out on this long trade as well. That was number 5. The market came up here, had a nice bounce off of a long trade in here. Market was very volatile at this time, so we're only trading half a position. We did not take the short trade that was triggered here, or this other short trade. It was too late in the day for that last one. So we ended up with 6 trades, and had some I think as it turned out, it was depending on the management of those stop outs and where the actual entry was taking place on some of our members. We have what we call a reverse engineered entry technique, and in some of these trades that do not provide a structural stop, we adjust the stop based on the structure and then get in at a lower price. For example, both of these trades on 4 and 5 would have been entered at a lower price, but from mechanical basis, we're not. So that's what we're looking at heading into tomorrow. A nice turn in the market, and the geyser type effect that I was mentioning on Friday as a possibility for this week might still happen. It may just get have gotten delayed a couple of days. So that's really how we're looking at the market right now. So thanks for taking the time to view it. Any questions or comments? Just get a hold of us here at info@eminidaytrader.com. So that'll be it. Thanks, and we'll see you again tomorrow.